Hey guys, quick warning, this is not a what if. Wait, come back! It's not a what if in the traditional sense. See, I've got a lot of good suggestions for parts of what ifs, but they make little to no impact on the actual story. If they were solo, at least. So I decided that I'd write a fan fiction. Oh my god, the drama! Just kidding. I know my stuff gets pretty fanfiction-y anyways, so this might not be most people's cup of tea, but this is going to be like a 16-episode thing, so either way, I'm looking forward to it. Let's get started.
Hey, TikTok's editor Luna here, and I'm here for today's video sponsor, Gear Anime, baby! Gear Anime has everything stuff on your body to show your love for your favorite anime. They have a wide variety of different anime to choose from to suit your otaku needs. From Naruto, Dragon Ball, Attack on Titan, and my personal favorite, My Hero Academia. These shoes are some of the comfiest I have ever worn in my life. I've been through so many pairs of shoes before. There's enough breathing room. Every step feels so nice on your soles, and it is just a fantastic time to walk around every single day wearing these shoes. Shoes not your forte? Do not worry, my dear friend, because you have other options to choose from. They also have hoodies, socks, and for the holidays and family reunions, ugly Christmas sweaters. Go to gearanime.com and use referral code TICTAC1, save $5 off your order. Or, if you use the link down into the description below, use that link, buy whatever you want, you get $5 off of your order. And including with that, they also add coupons throughout the year to help you save even more money. I don't regret my purchase, and I really hope that you guys don't either. Right to the video.
It's the Second Great Shinobi War. The lands are being pillaged and the Land of Fire is running low on soldiers. The war is coming to an end, with the shinobi villages of the Land of Whirlpools being backed by the Hidden Leaf. Things don't look good for the Hidden Sand and Hidden Stone. Fear has been rising that the Hidden Eddy is developing a funjutsu that will lead to a heavy defeat in the war. The Sand and Stone are poised for an attack, backed by a small army of Kiri and Kumo ninjas. The plan is to destroy the Hidden Eddy before their funjutsu can be completed. But at the last moment, an armada of Hidden Leaf ninjas, backed by the Hidden Eddy, and their completed funjutsu, strike out, dealing heavy casualties. A Konoha ninja, Jiraiya of the Sanin, had used his spy network to find out about the plan to destroy Uzushio, and as such warned the Hidden Eddy. They completed their humanitarian efforts up in the Land of Rain and returned home to prepare to defend against the attack. As a result, they were able to finish their funjutsu on time, and now the shinobi notice that they cannot use their jutsu. On top of this, the shinobi from the Hidden Leaf and the Hidden Eddy seem to be getting far more powerful. What kind of wicked curse has been crafted? Instantly, black bricks wrap around the bodies of the enemy. They feel weak, and they don't know that their chakra has been completely stolen and sealed off. The jutsu, combined with the military might of the Leaf and the Hidden Eddy, has proven that there is no point in attacking the village any further. And after this battle, victory is all but assured. The Leaf and the Eddy will forever be allies. This battle alone has made a massive impact on the future. For one thing, things are not as stable as we're used to. The hidden sand and stone have no choice but to surrender to even further sanctions put on them for their attempted destruction of another great village. It is agreed that the sand, which is a poor country and cannot afford to be taxed any further than they already have been, will give up their tailed beasts as assurance that they will never start another war. This leaves the sand bitter, and the stone, who have been allied with the sand, even angrier that the hidden leaf holds even further power. To settle things with the stone and avoid another altercation, it is agreed that the hidden leaf will not be keeping Shikaku, but giving him to the hidden Eri. Kushina is still sent to become the new Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki, when it is discovered that the wife of the first Hokage Mito Uzumaki will soon pass. Since the hidden Eri is still existent, she's not a freak. A lot of people have seen Uzumaki with red hair. In fact, one of her clansmen lives in this village already. His name is Minato Uzumaki. Kushina and Minato still meet the same way, with people kidnapping her and him saving her. She's the next vessel for the Nine Tails, and her Uzumaki blood is strong, so she would still be kidnapped. Years later, the Third Great Shinobi War would break out again. This time, the hidden Eri on their side, and no other allies, Konoha makes a desperate bid for an ally. The Third Raikage was known for trying to capture ninja with rare bloodlines, to force them into breeding programs. Due to the low amount of bloodlines that Kumo holds, the Third Hokage has a meeting with the bloodline-holding clans of Konoha: the Kurama clan, the Uchiha clan, and the Hyuga clan. In this meeting, the Third Hokage would suggest that a small group of one of these clans with Kekkei Genkai, or a Kekkei Genkai potential, would offer themselves as a reward for an alliance with Kumo. While some clan heads were outraged, it was Hayashi that spoke up, stating that if it were for his village, then he would offer his brother's family of the branch clan to start a new Hyuga clan. But they would keep the cage bird sealed to ensure that the Byakugan would not fall into the hands of any other than a Hyuga. Seeing that the Hyuga had made concessions, the Uchiha agreed to offer a small contingent of their least combat-inclined clansmen. The Kurama clan would be the only to withhold, as only one of them had awoken their Kekkei Genkai in quite some time, and they refused to lose it. Hiruzen would accept this, and the weeks later, the diplomatic envoy had arrived. Hayashi and Izumi would lead their prospective clansmen to Kumo, where the Sharingan and the Byakugan would stand as an unwavering testament to the link between the two villages. With Kumo on their side, they received support from several minor villages, such as Yukigakure, while making enough concessions to get Takigakure to side with them as well. In the end, the stone and the sand were beaten back yet again by the might of the Great Ninja Alliance, creating further dissension between the two villages. Not all was bad during the Third Ninja World, as an Uzumaki Minato, who was already seen as a genius, and had immense chakra pools and a love of Funjutsu like no other, he became known to his enemies as the Flying Thunder God, named after the technique that sent countless enemies to their grave. Unfortunately, this would come at the price of two of his students, the first being Obito Uchiha, falling to Iwa, and then Rin Nohara, falling to a Chidori to the heart from her last surviving teammate. Little did they know, someone was watching, and this would not be the end of their troubles. As the newly formed Mangekyo Sharingan stared in disdain at the blood-stained hands of his former best friend, and the hole in the chest of the girl he loved, he gathered up her body, and took her away, leaving Kakashi on the ground in a pool of Kiri ninja blood. Years down the line, on October 12th, that same Mangekyo Sharingan is staring with disdain at Kushina. who goes into labor. It was decided that she would return to the Hidden Eddy alone for her birth, as the seal masters there could handle a containment breach, having had their own problems beforehand with Shugaku, rejecting most of his containers. Fortunately enough, their current alliance with Kumo allowed them to create a perfect Jinchuriki seal, unlike Kushina, who personally refused the process, saying she refused to rely on the power of the fox. Minato, while wanting to be there, he had to deal with the village, and as the newly minted Hokage. She was given an Anbu guard to escort her to the village to watch over her, along with Jiraiya and Kakashi. This was decided to protect her against any attack they may face as they crossed the Land of Fire. Minato was taking no chances with the love of his life. Unfortunately, he wasn't being as cautious as he thought he was. Meanwhile, Kushina laid in the underground bunker, with glowing seals surrounding the area, out of breath. She had just given birth to a baby boy, Naruto. Kakashi, guarding the door, smiles happily, back at Kushina. Jiraiya goes to hold the boy, and hand him off to his mother, when the Uzumaki doctor hits the floor, blood spraying from her throat. All the ninja jump up, and Jiraiya is already rushing towards Naruto to grab onto him, but notices that Naruto's blankets are wrapped in explosive tags. Jiraiya throws the explosive-wrapped blankets into the sky as they collide with the ceiling array, and falling down, Obito exposes himself, feeling invincible. With his Kamui finally working again, he moves for Kushina, but Kakashi rushed in, grabbing him before the masked man could grab onto her, pulling her out of the way and taking a kunai slash to the back while jumping away. Jiraiya cursed under his breath as he launched a flurry of clones at the masked man and tries to finish him off with a Rasengan, but all his attacks fade right through. Kakashi throws kunai at his eye, realizing that the Sharingan is doing this. Before it hits the eye, it gets sucked into a void. Obito laughs. Heh, of course you would figure it out. He lunges at Kakashi and punches him into the gut. Fail here like you failed with Rin. Fall into darkness. Kakashi's eyes flash towards the eye that feels so familiar, and he passes out. Obito, no, that can't be you. But that was my Mangekyo pattern. Did someone take your other eye? Damn it! Stay awake! Kakashi fell back into the darkness. Kushina! Kakashi! Jiraiya rushes to the downed teen and the Lady Uzumaki, throwing a quick, distasteful look back to the dead Anbu. Man, how the hell did they even become Anbu? Being hacked to pieces in 3 seconds. As Obito plucks Kushina from Kakashi's limped arms, he fades away with her. God damn it! Jiraiya rushes to grab Naruto and rushes out to see a group of Uzumaki shinobi standing in the fields, dazed in a genjutsu. Realizing that this is no ordinary shinobi, Jiraiya has to resort to calling in the big guns. He stares at the flying Raijin marker on his arm, and he forms a Rasengan, forcing all the chakra into the mark. Back in the village, Minato is in a meeting with the council, discussing the current relation with the Uchiha and ways to better their view of the village hierarchy as a whole. They're currently very angry that Minato and Uzumaki, by birthright and therefore not a clan of Konoha, and not a clan head such as Uchiha Fugaku, has become Hokage. Minato has been trying to suppress the rage of the Uchiha, but is failing rather handily. The grizzled elders look at Minato with a disapproving look. Danzo opens his mouth towards Minato. You cannot allow the Uchiha to have this much free reign. The wall was created as a deterrent for a coup d'etat. The police force keeps them out of the main village. and from developing their powers too much. The clan heads already get to have their children in the main ninja force. There's no need for these revisions. The Uchiha have been against them for a while, Minato said. They helped found Konoha, but these restrictions basically make them second-class citizens. He finished, giving his classic, "Are you a moron?" look to Danzo. Be that as it may, making these kind of changes take time, and there is far to go, and there is far too little time as the earliest date of the Uchiha insurrection, Hamura stated, which is why we need to start making the changes right now. Everyone sighed as they knew Minato well enough that they weren't going home tonight until he got his way. Fine. We will sign off on the changes and call it a night, the Yamanaka clan head said, trying to defuse the situation. Personally, he didn't care. He didn't see why they feared the Uchiha anyways. They're just another clan with a bloodline limit. Minato smiles and writes down his name, but all the color fades from his face, contrasting his blood-red hair. "I have to go," he said in a deathly tone, as he's gone in a red flash. Back in Uzushio Gakure, Jiraiya is standing below a raging Ninetales with a baby Naruto in his hands. It took Minato time to feel the chakra pulse. So long, in fact, Minato shows up to see Jiraiya bloodied, holding his baby son and his dead wife. The Ninetales is charging a Biju bomb at the SEAL team. The rest of the Uzumaki are trying their best to hold him down with the chains. Minato takes the awful sight, his dead wife in Jiraiya's arms. He walks over and grabs Naruto from Jiraiya. "Minato, I'm..." Jiraiya tries to eep out, but Minato stays silent, almost left devoid of his eyes. He whips out a kunai from his pocket and tosses it full force at the ceiling team. He disappears in a red flash, appearing right in front of the ceiling team, crossing his fingers and creating 9 clones. Handing Naruto off to one of them, the other 8 jump forward, forming a massive circle in front of the incoming Biju bomb. He starts waving hand symbols, and the Biju bomb finally goes into the circle of the clones mid-air. It is teleported away from the village, and a massive eruption in the water causes it to rain while fire paints the sky. Minato throws a kunai at the 9-tailed fox, and appears right above it, with an Odama Rasengan right above its skull. He smashes it into the skull of the fox, and uses his own Uzumaki chakra chains to pierce through the fox's mouth, closing it shut. Glaring, brimming hatred in his eyes towards the 9-tailed fox, he calls the SEAL team. "Shut your fucking mouth, fox!" As the 9-tails crumbles to the ground, succumbing to the rest of the chains, Minato shoots 2 chains out of his palms and latches onto the fox's face, dragging himself to the ground with the fox. Using his chains, he pierces the fox's mouth, yet again causing even more excruciating pain, snapping him out of the genjutsu. As he sews his mouth shut, Kurama snaps his head back in anger. But Minato gives no quarter and delivers another brutal axe kick to the fox's face. "Look at my wife. She said you weren't that bad. And times where your chakra was cut off from hers, she could talk to you without hearing you. She would tell me that you weren't actually a monster full of nothing but hatred, but I see that you have no problems destroying and killing a woman who thought so highly of a demon. Little to none of it is true. So I don't care how troubled you are. I don't care how angry you are. You're going to stay right the fuck there and be sealed to my son, and if you so much as attempt to break out or hurt him in any way, I will kill both of us by dragging your ass into the Shinigami. Konoha be damned!" Kurama looked at Minato, and while he wanted to yell and scream, another part of him wanted to explain to Minato that it wasn't him. part of him wanted Minato to take it back. That he didn't kill Kushina. That it was the masked Sharingan user. He was innocent, damn it! Why did he care? Instead, he looked on to Minato and looked away, staying silent. That's a good beast. The sealing corps were ready to start the 32 tetragram seal. The seal is used for making my soul and the boys merge, isn't it? Good luck. No matter what you seal me into, my power will not fall into the hands of humans. I will leave smoldering embers of my hatred and sow them into the child's very core. He will never use my power. Kurama screamed in defiance, but he was met with an icy glare from Minato, so he stayed silent. He was not going to go into the Shinigami's stomach. As a seal activates, it's as if the chakra is being ripped from Kurama, flying into Naruto. As the nine-tailed beast becomes skinnier and more malnourished, Kurama lets out a deathly howl. This is obviously a very painful process, and as such, Kushina never wanted to put the fox through it, even if she didn't care for him. She couldn't stand to watch another being suffer for her to gain power. Minato realized this, and sees the pain look in the fox's face, and... tears? Minato, with a hateful glare, holds the boy up to stop the process. The fox is too weak to fight or scream anymore. He walks up to the fox, anger and tears brimming in his eyes. Tell me the truth. Why did you kill her? I didn't. There was a man. He extracted me from her. He attacked her Anbu. He held a Sharingan. And he seemed to know the Cyclops. Minato grits his teeth, trying to determine if this is a lie. How do I believe you? How do I know I can believe you? Everything we've been taught. Just to get out of the seal. To destroy. I've never killed without cause. Kurama, having enough of being lied on, having enough of being subjected to humans' false view of him. I've only ever destroyed those who try to continue the cycle of hatred or bind me to use me as a weapon. Do you know who my father is? He is your esteemed Rikoto Sennin, of whom you stomp on his legacy. He taught you about ninju to improve your lives, and you turn it into weapons to take lives. Kurama screams out in rage. Memories of his father coming back to him. Tears falling that rival the heavy rains pour. Even so, I've held on hope that one day Father's predictions would be right. That a child of prophecy would come and save the world and end a cycle of hatred. At this time, Jiraiya opens his mouth. I've received a similar prophecy. That one day I would train the child of prophecy. That would bring an end to the cycle of hatred. Could they be one and the same? How should I know what those infernal toads have told you? Kurama spits, and Jiraiya turns to Minato. Minato, he's telling the truth. Do not destroy him in your rage of your wife's death. We were attacked by a one-eyed Uchiha. He seemed to know Kakashi. Minato grits his teeth. The only one-eyed Uchiha he knows of died a long time ago. He calls the sealing team over. I can't allow you to roam free. However, I will seal you without a cage in my son. I believe he is the child of prophecy that you're looking for. Unfortunately, unlike my sensei believes, it can't be me. I've always been led by my anger. I gave in to my hatred. I believe when my sensei trains my child, it will be clear to you who he is. The mood turns solemn as Minato calls over the SEAL team and has them make a few revisions to the seal, and prepares to seal the consciousness of the fox into Naruto. The process is finished, and now we can get a good look at baby Naruto. His eyes are blue, but the iris is rounded out, rectangular, with vertical slits. His red hair has small streaks of silver, and his once thin whiskers look like they were drawn on with war paint. No one really knows what this is, but Jiraiya can sense energy coming from this kid. It's sage energy. When Minato turns to Jiraiya, looking for an explanation for the feeling of sage energy, Jiraiya pauses for a second and then remembers what Kurama said, how he was the oldest son of the Sage of Six Paths. The first seal we gave Naruto was to merge his essence with the Nine Tails. All known Jinchuriki receive some sort of ability from their Biju. The Ichibi grants the user its magnet release. The Nibi grants a stronger frame release. The Sanbi grants coral release to its host. The Yanbi grants lava release. The Gobi grants steam release. The Rokubi grants slime release. The Nanibi grants flying and a limber body, and an innate ability to communicate with bugs. The Hachibi gives its host the ink release. Yet the Ninetales has never received any kind of gift from their Biju, despite the fact that the Uzumaki with large chakra reserves can be the only ones to hold it for longer than a day. This seems to point to the rare release that damages the body so severely only one with extremely high chakra level could hope to awaken it or subvert it. It seems to be the latter. The Kyubi may grant its host the same form of innate sage mode. Jiraiya finished, shocking all of the sealing cords and the Biju core. Hey guys, it's me, your narrator. Coming in with some quick please don't destroy me in the comments. No, Naruto's innate Sage of Six Paths mode has literally nothing to do with Kurama. That's not what's going on here. You'll find out in the next episode what the actual reason for this fuckery is. Also, I believe that Kurama's innate ability is actually yin-yang release, but that can't be wielded by anyone but four types of people. People with the Rinnegan, people with the Tenzagon, Kurama himself, and the Sage, and someone with Sage of Six Paths mode. If you disagree, I don't really care. This is literally a fan fiction, so it's gonna fly either way. And that's actually gonna be this episode. Yeah, so I was trying something new. Not really the greatest fan of how this episode turned out, but I still needed to upload something now that my mic is fixed. So what did you guys think? Great? Terrible? Probably awful? Well, let's hear it in the comments. Like and subscribe if you actually enjoyed this drivel and like my other stuff.